Hi folks, this is another one of my videos on my interactions with my higher self, aiazmir. And he was explaining to me that how holograms work and how creation works, and so I asked him if he could demonstrate it to me, and so he said, humans have the wrong notion of how to create, how to make things. He said, because when you create things, you kill other things or destroy other things in order to make them. So when you're making metals, you go into the ground, you dig out metal, you heat the metal, and then so and then you cast the metal in the way that you want it, and you apply it in whatever way you wish. And you've actually been destructive by doing that. So he said, let me demonstrate something to you so that you understand what I'm talking about. And he said, on Sirius B, we don't do that. We create using the mechanics of creation. So if we want to create a holographic apple, we will just use the mechanics of creation to create an apple. And so I said, well, how do you do that? And he demonstrated to me how you could do that. It's transmuting waves of energy and from the original form, and using the template of an apple, because apples are soul beings, and so if you understand the template of an apple, you can create an apple. So he showed me how to do this, and he, as he was able to do, he was able to conjure up holograms. And so he created this apple in front of me, and I saw this apple going upward. At first it was just waves of light and sound, and it began to create, and it moved very quickly, the creation. And he said, well, in the end there was this apple, and he said to me, hold the apple. So I reached out and grabbed the apple, and he said, don't you understand that you are a hologram? Your physical form is a hologram, and what you're eating is a hologram. A very complex creation system. So he said, bite the apple. So I bit the apple, and it tasted beautiful. It was a wonderful apple. And he said, you have no understanding of holograms and how they formed. They formed from a template. So when he was talking about the Syrians and the higher dimensional beings, when we create, we don't go to an apple tree and pick the apple off the apple tree. The apple tree creates the apple, and then we go and pick the apple. But if we want to eat an apple, which they don't actually eat, but he was just telling me this to demonstrate it. He said, if you want to eat the apple, and they have the ability to eat, they can eat if they choose to, but they don't rely on other beings, they don't devour other beings in order to survive. But they enjoy the taste, the diversity of tastes that they can get. So I said, if we want to do that, we don't necessarily have to find an apple tree to make an apple. We just use the template of the apple, and we can, through alchemy, transmute waves of light and sound and energy and create an apple, because an apple is a soul being, just like everything is a soul being. And so, if we would understand that our physicality and the physicality of the stuff we eat is a hologram, which is designed off a universal template, a universal soul template that has certain codes in it. And if you can reproduce those codes, you can create whatever you want to create. And so, that's the big difference between us and the higher dimensional beings. They understand this, that everything is just energy. And all reality, what we experience as reality, is a field of reality, a theatre. As William Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, and he was right. It is just a theatre in which we can express ourselves and say things and do things and, participate in the reality that we want to create. But the problem here is people are not creating their own reality. They're having indoctrinated reality that they reproduce. So we are creating the hologram, but we're not creating our hologram. We're creating somebody else's hologram. So it's time that we begin to take back control of the hologram that we are creating. There's some really amazing science out there that if we understood, there would be no sickness, there would be no poverty, there would be no lack on this planet, if we just began to understand the nature of energy, and that you can make anything out of nothing if you know how it works.